Hello, welcome to Now to Play, an adventure-driven podcast about video games. My name is John Isaacs, and with me, as always, is my co-adventurer, Finn Campbell. Finn, how you doing, baby?
It is a pleasure and a privilege to be here with you today, John.
Ooh, privilege, that's nice.
It's a privilege. I mean that sincerely. I love
I
talking
like
about
that.
Pokemon any chance I get. I love when I'm playing a game with a friend and we get to talk about it as we're playing through it together. It is a privilege and an honor.
That warms my heart. If you're new here, we've got 3 previous episodes that you should really go check out because we've been through the ringer. I'm going to be honest with you guys already. It has been kind of chaos. Each episode, Finn and I get together and talk about the adventures that we're having in the game. This season on Now to Play, we are doing the OG Pokemon Red Blue Nuzlocke, which really just means there's no such thing as fainting when it comes to Pokemon. When they faint, they're dead to us. That hurts. It has hurt. And we have to just kind of keep on trucking through. It also means that we have to name each one of our Pokemon so we have a connection with them. And in each one of the routes or areas, we only get to capture the first new Pokemon. And once we either catch it or don't catch it, that's it. That area is locked off. But you know what? We're happy we are here with us through this adventure. This is episode 4 of Now to Play Pokemon Red and Blue. Last episode, let's just catch everyone up on that one. What happened? John, was the first one that lost a Pokemon. I lost my Fraylon, which was my Beedrill. I cried. It hurt. We also talked about what was under a Diglett and Doug trio, because apparently no one's ever took a shovel and picked that up. Both Finn and I acquired the Thunder Badge by beating Lieutenant Surge. And right now, Finn, all I want to know, who is in your Pokemon party as we're starting this adventure into Celadon City? Well, actually, hold on. Wait. I have in the notes. I apologize. I'm jumping ahead. I have a complaint. I need to file a complaint with the Council of Now to Play because I have a huge complaint right now.
Yes.
I love this little machine. It is great.
Sure. You're discussing the analog pocket for audio viewers.
I'm showing everyone the analog pocket. I love it. I also absolutely freaking hate it right now because my save states have been crashing. So when I say I've gone through the effing ringer for this episode, it's because I've probably played the beginning section and the end section twice. So I'm a little upset.
So when you go to load the save state, it crashes?
No, it loads, but it loads the save state, but then when you get into it, it doesn't revert back to where I was at the save state. So it just restarts the game and then kicks me over to the last save state that actually works.
Oh.
And so if I'm saving on the cartridge and then saving on the save state, if you jump on the save state, it replaces the cartridge save.
Then why not just use the cartridge save and ignore the save state?
I did. Actually, that's what I'm doing right now. But what sucked was the first time I did, I was like, all right, well, I got kicked back outside the rock tunnel again. And I had to go through the rock tunnel again. So all my Pokemon were not where they were at when I got to Lavender Town. And then during a specific battle in Route 7, the Underground Path in Celadon City, it happened again. I was like, all right, everything's saving. Everything kind of synced back up. And then when I jumped into it, it kicked me back about 3 hours.
Wow.
I've played this section essentially twice.
Yeah.
Was not fun.
Well, did it go better the preceding times?
No, it did not.
Okay, well, let's get into that then.
Let's go ahead and jump into the rock tunnel real fast. And Route 10, Finn, I need to know, did you pick something up? Because I know I did.
Yeah, Route 10 leads to the rock tunnel. I sort of knew what I was in for here, so not too excited by what I caught, which was a Voltorb. It was one of those things where I'd already caught everything else on that route. So I was like, Voltorbs are going to come up later. I may as well catch one now, so my chances of catching something I actually really want later is increased.
Yeah.
So it was one of those, just sort of get it. So I named my Voltorb Cubits, and
okay.
I didn't want to put him in the box right away because it felt bad. I don't want to do that to Pokemon, even if I'm only catching them for nonsense reasons this Nuzlocke forces me to. So I ended up giving Cubits Flash, and so Cubits was the one who led me through this rock tunnel, which I think is cool because it's an electric Pokemon and it was like flashing all the way out.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing I caught on there. What about you? Did you catch anything?
I did the same exact thing. I got a Voltorb, I gave it Flash, and I was like, all right, I'm not putting you in the box. You're going to come with me. I thought the same exact thing too. I'm like, having this like giant ball just start like screaming Flash at everything and just lighting everything up. So I really, really liked that. I did the same exact thing. And I named mine Wazapski.
Like as in Mike Wazowski?
Yes, 100%. I was like, Mike Wazowski, but I'm going to call him Wazapski.
So what about this creature lends itself to looking like Mike Wazowski? He has a ball.
It's round. It's
round,
like, man,
okay.
I'm not going deep on that one. It was just, I'm going deep on another one, but this one was just, it's round. And I wanted to pun on the word since it was an electric type Pokemon. So Wazapski is what I went with.
What is your thoughts on this creature that looks almost exactly like a Pokeball, but it is alive?
I feel bad for the kids. Let's think about this for a second. If there's like, I don't actually know. Ours Voltorbs and Pokeballs are not the same exact size. No. Voltorb's a lot bigger. Yeah.
No, actually, the Voltorbs only. This is from the Pokedex entries. In fact, not even in this game, but in latter entries. The Voltorbs were like discovered recently, and they were first sighted at a factory that creates Pokeballs.
Okay.
And so the feeling is there's some kind of link between, like maybe like a Ditto mutated, and it changed into a Pokeball, and that spawned an entire species line out of it. Nobody really knows. It's kind of like this element of mystery to it. Nobody really knows what's up with Voltorb and Electrode, but how weird is it that this thing just wants
thought it would
to
just
look
be
like
a Pokeball? Like in that idea, like if you're running, like we can find Pokeballs in the wild. Trainers drop them all the time. When you're running this Pokeball and it's like the Voltorb's back is towards you and you went to pick it up and you piss this bitch off and it electrocutes you. That's where I feel bad about Voltorb. Right. Because it is just this weird looking Pokeball thing, but I don't know how it became electric. I guess because if it is being, they found it next to like a production company or production warehouse of Pokeballs. Maybe it just, like you said, a Ditto kind of copied the Pokeball, and then it became something else, and that Ditto really, really liked being this Pokeball instead of the Ditto, because Ditto is always trying to find what it wants to be, and maybe that's how it's just nothing but Dittos, and we just don't know about it, and we haven't shocked it just right, or it hasn't been like, oh, I'm done being Voltorb. But then how does it evolve from Ditto? That's what I want to know now. If it's a Ditto that is a Voltorb that goes into Electrode, how did it think of that?
There's nothing in any piece of lore or whatever that suggests it might be a Ditto. That was just me throwing something out there, because it's wild that this creature exists. The reason you bring up the fact that it's electric type is weird, because there's nothing inherently electric or lightning based about a Pokeball itself. The Pokedex does mention that these creatures, Voltorb and Electrode, do feed on lightning, and if they eat too much lightning, that's when they self-destruct because they've gained too much power and they just can't contain it anymore. Another cute little detail is you'll notice Voltorb is always doing the angry eyes at you. And then when it evolves into Electrode, the Pokeball flips and it's suddenly like in a happy smiley face. So it kind of mirrors the positive and negative charges in that way.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
It's a cute little detail.
Yeah, I like that.
I like.
That's very, very cute. All right. We're in the rock tunnel. Let's talk about this rock tunnel where it's just dark. We have to use our little Voltorb to get Flash. We're running into trainers. Finn, why are trainers there? It is dark.
I think they have
Are they just sitting there?
I think they have the same problem as us. I think they can't get to Saffron. This is like a detour. And so they have to go through the rock tunnel to get to Lavender Town to get to where they want to go. So I think it's this thing where it's just like, no one planned for this. They are probably fumbling around in the dark because they maybe don't know Flash. Maybe some of them do. But they're probably just like trying to get... A lot of them do talk about, I think, like, I can't find my way out here. I'm lost. There's all these Machops jumping out at me. It's crazy.
Yeah. And it's just like, did you not bring a flashlight or anything? Like, you knew going into this it was dark.
Yeah, flashlights don't exist in this world.
I guess not. Because like, you walk in and you're like, oh, it's dark. I could turn back around and just get a flashlight or flash, because we can't be the only Pokemon trainers that actually have flash, right?
No, we're definitely not. Because I think Professor Oak's aide just gives one to you. That's how you get it.
All right, did you get anything in the rock tunnel? It's not, you just level up and just go through this. So like, did you get anything in the rock tunnel? I need to know.
I came across him a chop, and I was so, like, my eyes were glazed over at this point because I had already seen so many Machops and I don't really care for this creature, that I didn't even consider that this was my only opportunity for a catch in this route, and I killed it immediately. I couldn't wait to kill the Machop. So that died.
Oh, no.
And it was about like 5 battles later that I was like, oh, that's it.
In the box you go. I'm not too worried about you because it's just one of those, like, we have to get out of this cave and we have to get to Lavender Town. You're like emerging out of this cave. It's sunny, maybe? It's rainy. There's just this weird, maybe fog going around just in Lavender Town. And then the most iconic Pokemon music. So actually, it's all iconic. What am I saying? It's all iconic. Just starts playing, and it's just so somber and so like sad. And you can see all these different areas, these buildings. You've got the Poke Center, you've got the Pokemon Tower, you got all this thing. Finn, I need to know. I want to know, where did you go? Because this is where it like truly opens up.
So yeah, I heard the music and I was transported back. It's a great piece of music and sort of lends itself well to the limitations of the Game Boy, as a lot of this game does. And so I did want to soak up the vibe. So I did spend just a while exploring Lavender Town, which is known as specifically the Pokémon Tower, which is the big landmark in this town, as the gravesite of Pokemon, which is, why the scary, creepy music exists in the first place. Yeah. I definitely want to believe that it's like calm here and like sunny, like sort of those like cool graveyards you see where it's like, this would be a nice place to visit. But there's also part of me that's like, maybe this is like Silent Hill and it's all just like foggy and cobbled streets, Jack the Ripper-esque.
And yeah, I think that's where the music kind of lends to it, because I'm with you. Like, in my mind, you emerge the rock tunnel and it's like sunny out because it's calming, but that kind of turned for me when everyone was talking about the spirits, and there's a spirit out on the loose in Pokemon Tower, and it just got really kind of creepy. And then the music kicked in even more as I was talking to some of the people through Lavender Town, and like Mr. Fuji in his Pokemon.
So it's an orphanage. It's an orphanage. He takes care of abandoned Pokemon.
Do I go to Lavender Tower? I did. I walked into Lavender Tower.
Yeah, that's and I wanted to go pay my respects at the very least. I wanted to talk to people. There were people talking about rumors that are going around in the town where the Team Rockets are about. They killed Cubone's mother. The restless spirits are the spirits of the dead Pokemon that live there. There are people on the ground floor lamenting the passing of the Pokemon.
Hurt.
My Growlithe, why did you die? Someone saying, I came to pray for my Clefairy and I can't stop crying.
I had a moment when this happened, because I was like, I've been keeping a Pokemon journal for myself as we're playing through this. And I've been putting myself as 10-year-old John running through this. And I distinctly remember I wrote down, I was holding Freelon in my arms as I went back to the Pokemon Center. And I didn't know what to do. And so I skipped the next day, quote unquote, in my journal. I'm trying to keep this very succinct. And I literally wrote the idea of like, I don't know if I'm a good enough trainer. I don't know what I'm doing, but I had to have a burial for Freelon behind this Pokemon Center, because some people it has to happen right there. And so I literally was like, I looked at this idea of like, I let all of the team out, all my family out there. And I was like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing right now. This is breaking me, because I thought I was a better trainer. I thought I was good. Oh. And I'm rolling through people left and right. And then Freelon happened on a dumb mistake. And I really kind of internalize that for myself and thinking about how I would have been as a kid and probably how I still would have been a little bit. And it's just that idea of like, oh shit, I really messed up. And then I kind of let myself go and look at the team. And I say, but I'm really happy Iggy and Mav are there because they're stepping up as the team leaders and comforting all the other Pokemon because they're sad as well. And then when we get to Lavender Town, I'm like, was I supposed to carry Freelon with me to Lavender Town and bury them in Lavender Town? That's a long effing way from when Freelon died outside of Vermilion.
There's really no indication up until this point that Pokemon can die, right? If you're playing the game like for the first time, your Pokemon will faint, but they won't die. You can revive them. And so this does confirm that, yeah, like this stuff happens. It's real, especially pertinent for us playing Nuzlocke where our Pokemon's lives are on the line and can die permanently.
It hit harder than I was anticipating. Mm-hmm. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I got high enough where I actually fought you. Did you? I didn't know you were there.
I didn't know you were there either. I was shocked by it, but it was one of those times where it didn't suck you in immediately. You were able to see that your rival was up ahead, so I did go back to the Pokemon Center and I was like, okay, let's do this. And I went back to the Pokemon Center. It's go time. How did you find this fight?
I handled pretty easily. It wasn't actually as hard as I thought it was going to be. I had harder fights from other people. Mm-hmm. So I no issues. How about you?
I didn't realize that the rivals team is actually different depending on is it dependent on the game or whose starter you pick?
The starter. So
right.
I pulled what we're looking at. Yeah, I pulled it from the starter. So it actually shows if you chose Squirtle, they even have a different Pokemon set than you and I do.
Right. So instead, for you, your rival at this point has an Execute. For me, it has a Gyarados. And so I was fighting this Gyarados. Charlie was whippling away at it with his Hyper Fang. I had paralyzed it earlier with Shuba. And it was all going well. It was going fine. Charlie was like not full health, but like near full health.
Yeah.
And this Gyarados hit Hydro Pump.
Oh no.
And it crit. And Charlie is no more.
No.
Charlie is my Raticate, my beautiful Raticate that I caught in the first episode, is dead.
Oh no. Oh, Finn.
Yeah. John, I was in my head I was calculating the percentages, right? The thing, mm-hmm. The Gyarados was paralyzed, so it has a 75% chance of hitting out anything.
Yeah.
Then Hydro Pump only has 80% accuracy. Then for Gyarados in this generation, it's a 16% crit chance. The combination of like all of those things happening is like 9.5%.
God,
I did the maths. How unfortunate is that? But that's the risk you're taking. Even that is too high risk for me to dare do Hyper Fang with Charlie at that point. And he was at like, he had most of his health. I think he had 5 HP knocked off his top. But the Hydro Pump, man, was too powerful. It crit. And it's a good thing I was in the Pokemon Tower because I had to bury him right there.
No, Finn.
I think Charlie picked up on it. Charlie knew that something was wrong because he never misses his Hyper Fang. He missed like 3 Hyper Fangs before this fight. And I was noticing like he kept missing attacks and I was like, Charlie, what's up with you, bro? And he knew something bad was coming. When your Freelon died, I asked you if you thought it was going to be part of your final party. And I was thinking about that with Charlie and I was like, man, if you asked me at the beginning of this, I wouldn't have said, like, I wouldn't need Eradicate for the final party, right? There's nothing particularly special about it. There are other normal types out there, like, I could do without Eradicate. But I was really growing fond of Charlie. Charlie had my back for all those 3 episodes. He was really part of the core of the team.
Yeah.
And...
I'm not going to give you any shit. It's crazy, like, naming these, which, like we said, new to me. Mm-hmm. But we have grown fond of them. They are a team, and we start like I don't want to say imprinting, but we start like building out that world in our heads. Where like Charlie really started becoming part of the team, and you're like, man, this is really cool. Okay, maybe I will have Charlie at the end of the whole game, and it's that weird like you got him at the very beginning and you want to kind of run with him. And there's that weird connection that you have. That's exactly the same way as Freelon. So no hate for me. Finn. Damn.
Hurts big time.
Yeah.
But we gotta move on.
Right. You have buried Charlie and you had a wonderful funeral, and the Pokemon Tower is the only place that we know are ghost Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know what do the ghost Pokemon come from? Because we have Ghastly, we have Haunter. That's the evolution. To have a ghost Pokemon, we have to have a body, right? What Pokemon is Ghastly? Or is your Eradicate, is Charlie now going to become a Ghastly at some point? If Charlie's like, Finn, I loved you so much. You didn't do this. We still have unfinished business. I'm going to now, instead of being Eradicate, my spirit is going to go and become Ghastly. Is that how that works? Or is it something else?
There's definitely some ambiguity of the term ghost as it's used in these games. I don't like to believe that my Charlie turns into a Ghastly. I think if he appears as a ghost at all, it's in his own form. He appears as the ghost of Eradicate as opposed to an entirely different species classification in Ghastly or Haunter. I think there's some evidence for that later down the line when we talk about the Cubone's mother appearing as they do. But yeah, I like to think of Ghastly in terms of like a spirit as more of a reaction of like some sort of disturbance of an aura or a force. Because he's not... Okay. Ghastly isn't just a ghost type, it's ghost poison. And the Pokedex talks about how it likes to, infect its... like, it likes to possess people and likes to infect them. It's a bit more of like a poltergeist in that way, or... we'll see these channelers that are around the Pokemon Tower. They get possessed by these Ghastlies. I think the Ghastlies are a reaction to Team Pokemon, or Team Rocket's disturbing the grounds of Pokemon, doing their nefarious deeds in Pokemon Tower. And I think not the spirits themselves of the dead Pokemon that lay there, but the sort of general united... ethereal energy in the tower is reacting to them and causing some disturbances. There's also a theory that I know is out there that the Ghastly line all the way up to Gengar is actually the shadow of another Pokemon, Clefairy and Clefable. Okay. Because if you look at Clefable and Gengar side by side, they do share a similar shape and design. Yeah. Even in the ground floor of this tower, people were talking about like Clefairy dying, and Clefairy has this association with the moon, right? So people are theorizing that Gengar represents the dark side of the moon in that way, and they sort of have this connection there. I don't know if I believe that, but I'm just throwing it out there.
That's cool, though. I kind of dig that. Mm-hmm. How high up did you go before you stopped in Pokemon Tower?
As high as I could go. I knew I would be blocked off at a certain point. And, because you can't actually identify the ghost at this point. We'll need another item. So we're the only Ghastlies and stuff we're running into is in battles with these channelers who like want your blood and stuff. It's no
Which
big
is
deal.
Crazy to me. Give me your blood. I'm like, what are we doing right now?
It's more like I picture it as like, give me your blood. And it's like, And then once the Ghastly has escaped their presence, it's been exorcised. They're like, oh, damn, I was just...
Sorry about that.
Yeah, these channelers are clearly not equipped to deal with the thing that they're designed to do, which is deal with ghosts. Because
you're not doing a good job.
Except for one who was pretty nice, who laid down some white magic so you could heal in the middle of the tower.
Which was great.
Yeah, really, really nice.
I know after that, I went Route 8 and 7. I started going to Celadon City. How about you?
I went down to Route 12 with all the fishermen because Charlie was dead at this point. Needed a replacement. So I swapped in 15s, who is the Jigglypuff that I caught last week.
Yes.
I decided, right, okay, this is the time to train them up. So beat all these fishermen. I knew I would only get so far before I hit that Snorlax again, so I was like, let's get this out of the way now. And I did that, so then I ended up going. There wasn't really much to talk about. It was just these fishermen got a lot of XP and then went back up to where you went, which is Route 8. And
cool.
Onward to Route 7.
Yeah, Route 8, I tried to catch a Growlithe, and I actually failed. I was very sad.
How did you feel? Did you kill it?
No, it used Roar and then ran away.
Oh, it knows Roar. Oh.
I forgot, I was like, I love Growlithe. If you can't tell, I love the fire type Pokemon. Growlithe is so cute, and I love just everything about this design. And I saw Growlithe show up. I'm like, yes, I don't know if I'm actually going to use you, but I want you. And I threw out. I think Mav was probably at the beginning just to make sure I could not quick attack everything. And I think Growlithe just used Roar, if I remember. I don't even think I attacked it. And then Roar happened, and he ran away, and I was like, shit.
On Route 8, fought the trainers that are there, first of all. Again, they're sort of stuck because they can't get into Saffron City, so they're just all hanging out there. And during that time, I was using GG at this point, so I was scratching Payday away, and GG evolved into a Persian.
Nice. Fantastic.
Persian is a bit of a disappointment in my eyes.
I'm not going to give you crap. I there's a very interesting and cool look design on Meowth. And Persian just like, you're a cat again. I know Meowth's a cat, but
it's way too plain. I think it loses a little bit of its mischief, right? Mm-hmm. Meowth looks mischievous. I feel like they could have leaned into the fact that it loves shiny things and the coin in its head and stuff.
Celadon City. It is almost a metropolis. You have the Celadon department store.
Wait, we skipped Route 7.
Oh, did we skip Route 7?
I did catch that Vulpix, by the way.
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah. Sorry. I thought you were still on Route 7. That's on me.
No. We go to Route 7 before, but I was in and out of the Pokemon Center while trying to catch this Vulpix. It took a long time. I think it was 30 encounters, which
Jesus
was a lot of time. But yeah, I did catch the Vulpix. Named it Liesel.
Liesel.
Yeah. The Sound of Music is on a lot this time of year. And so one of the Von Trapp children, one of the ones that's focused on more, is called Liesel. And I just think it's a good name for a hound, you know? The reason I need it in my party right now, and it became part of the party, was because I'm going to need to burn some plants pretty soon. So I started training up on a bunch of plants, and I just like the idea of sticking Liesel and then just spraying fire at them.
Okay.
So Liesel's part of the squad now, for sure.
Nice. That's a good name, too. I like that. I like that a lot.
All right, now we're in Celadon City.
We have the Celadon department store, which offers all sorts of different items. It is just a giant Pokemon center. We have the Celadon Mansion, which is a hotel. We're walking around Celadon City, and then you go into the Rocket Game Corner, where there's just lines of slot machines. And these slot machines do not give a damn about you because they're slot machines.
But it's fair because it's Team Rocket's running it. Of course they're going to be right.
Yes. Team Rocket is all over Celadon City. It's really weird. I talked to one lady. One lady was like, I don't like that this Team Rocket corner is here because it's bad for the town or bad for the city. You talk to Team Rocket all over the place, and they're like, yeah, we're here. And one person in Team Rocket was like, yeah, we've already shipped in 2,000 Pokemon this month. And you know that they're just washing money, or there's an illegal Pokemon ring going on where they're just shipping Pokemon out. It's crazy to me that this is here in a game. Also, you can get some pretty damn cool Pokemon next door in the game, in the prize section. And Finn, when I tell you I went down an effing rabbit hole to figure out the numbers for this to get what I wanted.
Did you count cards, essentially?
I essentially counted cards, yes. I watched so many YouTube videos about the lucky, how it actually works. There's 1 through 30. Or no, there's 0 through 30. Each one of the machines get a random number 0 through 30. Because there's 35 machines, but there's 5 people actually on them.
Yeah.
And what happens is every time you leave the game corner and come back in, those numbers randomize again to the specific machines. So a lot of people are just go to that very first one on the right and start playing. you'll find out within 5 or 6 turns if you have a good machine. If you don't, get out and come back in.
Because the NPC tells you that. They're like, oh, these machines have different luck levels.
Yeah, there's different luck levels, and those luck levels change every single time you leave and come back.
Right.
And so it was, I kept on dropping three of the coins so I could have lines anywhere. And again, butchering the hell out of this. If you somehow if you win 2 or 3 out of the first 5 or 6 times, you're at a fairly good luck mechanic and you can kind of keep on running it.
Mm-hmm.
But there are times when you get the super lucky one, and that happens like 1 every 256,000th time. I don't know. I really don't remember. I kind of gave up after a little bit, and I just kind of kept on running it. And then there's a point where like, you have a super lucky if you start hitting 7s. Like if 7 drops on one of the 3 on your first run, you might have a super lucky. If you have a 7 line on the second one, you're most likely to have a super lucky. And then it's that third one is just you have to like land it and it'll hit a super lucky. And then you can kind of go back to back to back until you get about 1,000 coins, give or take. Uh-huh. And then it's just going to reset the luck parameter in the code. And then you can start over, or you can just leave and come back and restart that parameter again. But you're never going to have the same luck twice until you reset everything or you just win out.
Wow. You're blowing my mind, John. I didn't know it went this deep.
I didn't think it did, and I wanted something very specific. Right. And I was like, I'm going to get this thing. I'm also very upset because I've already restarted once on this thing. This was the save died, and I had to go back through everything again. Man. When I was like, I'm sitting there on a computer, and I'm watching this video, and I'm looking at all the numbers, and I'm watching this guy like, oh, okay, if you do this, then you go do this, and you do this. And I was like, okay, it is luck, but it randomizes, and you can kind of, I don't want to say force the luck, but you can get out of the bad situation if you're smart enough and only drop 5 or 6 turns in the coin machine. Uh-huh. And then you just reset everything and come back.
That's wild, John. So what did you get with how much did you win?
Nothing.
Oh. So none of it worked.
None of it worked for me.
Oh my God.
It's been hours, Finn. It's been hours. I don't want to say I'm a busy person, Finn. You know kind of actually how busy I am. And I did this. And then I finally gave up. And this is how much I gave up.
Uh-huh.
I forgot that you can actually just kind of walk around and you can get about 200, 250 coins. Just you talk to the people, but then there's
you
can pick them up. I just picked them all up and then walked across next door and I just bought an Abra. I needed something for my pain. I needed something.
Abra's the cheapest thing you can get there, by the way.
Yes.
Which is also funny because of how hard it is to catch earlier. But I think it's smart if you want an Abra to get it here, because then you're not spending like future.
I wanted Dratini.
Oh, I'm sure Dragon. You did. Yeah.
I wanted Dragonair, and I was like, bitches, I'm coming at everyone with that. And I wanted Hyper Beam. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to just lay it on the cards down there. Uh-huh. Hyper Beam is one of the attacks you can get.
I think this is the only way you can get Hyper Beam, and it's one of the strongest attacks in the game, especially in Gen 1. So, it's rough. It's rough.
And so did that one. But you have when you're in there, you talk to one of the Rocket guys, Team Rocket, and he's holding or blocking a poster.
Uh-huh.
You fight him. And then when you beat him, there's a button behind the poster opening up a secret lair for Team Rocket.
Yeah.
And that lair goes deep. And there are so many people there. And it got insane. Finn, how did anything happen? Please tell me Charlie was the only person, only family member that you lost.
So
we're going to keep on going. Please tell me Charlie was the only family member you lost during your excursion into the Team Rocket hideout.
Okay, but no one died in the Team Rocket hangout.
Okay,
and the reason is because I had Liesl up front, and I was training her up to get ready for this gym that we're gonna do. So she burned Team Rocket's hideout to the ground.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really, really nice, really satisfying.
Nice. Yeah. I did jump ahead of myself. I didn't have Neo at the time, but what I did was I wanted Queenie. I brought Queenie back out.
Oh, you're
Queenie and
Queen.
and I have evolved her to a Nidoqueen.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So I was like, I just felt like there was a calling to the box, and I was like, Queenie, you're close.
So who got bumped?
I might need you.
Who got bumped for Queenie?
Who got bumped for Queenie? Actually, BG.
All right. It makes me happy.
Yeah, BG got bumped, and I was like, okay, hold on. Queenie is can be a lot more well-rounded and kind of give me a little more bang for the buck, if you will.
Yeah.
So I grabbed Queenie, brought her out of the box, got her to Nidorina, and then I was like, screw it. I might as well just throw you into Nidoqueen. And we just kept on leveling up and wrecking shop. And I kind of grabbed a couple of the TMs, and I kind of started really looking at like what she can do and how much it would help me now, but just also in future too. So I gave her a couple more of those attacks so I could have a more balanced and well-rounded out team with Queenie. We got through. It sounds like we both got through this pretty well, but the shocking part when it came to the Team Rocket hideout is we finally get to meet this guy named Giovanni.
Giovanni.
Yeah. Who is the leader of Team Rocket.
Right.
And how was that battle for you?
Underwhelming. I trounced them.
Thank you!
You would think in the Team Rocket base where the Team Rocket leader is hiding that they put up a bit more of a fight. That he has an Onyx. He has a Rhyhorn, which is a great looking Pokemon.
Great. I love that.
He has a Kangaskhan, which is the first time we've seen that as well. It's another great looking Pokemon, but not very threatening. Giovanni, no, it's disappointment. Do better.
Yeah, I had Nunu. Nunu. Yeah, I had Nunu. Nunu has Vine Whip, and it just wrecks shop. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, cool. Thanks for this. And Giovanni's kind of like pissed off at you. But he says something to the effect of like, oh, you're just a kid, but you could be really great. But you'll never understand what we're doing.
There was not Giovanni, but some of the Team Rocket grunts did like put in some lines that I thought were interesting. Like there's one guy that said like, how can you not see the beauty of our evil? And I was like, oh, that's awesome. And then there was one guy that was like, what are you doing here? Like, where you have a successful operation, it's nothing to do with you. Why are you here? And that's a good question, John. Why are we here? Why are we bullying these?
Thank you.
They're bad guys, but like, why?
Why are we doing 10 years old. Why is it on us? And this goes back to when with Misty, when the door opened up and it was like, oh yeah, now you can fight or you can go through the murder scene or the where they stole Steam Rocket stole Dig.
The murder scene. Oh my god!
I said murder scene. It's not a murder scene.
It's crime scene.
I just improv a murder scene. Okay. But no, why are we here? What is the point of doing this? And this is like I said earlier, where it opened up. You don't have to actually do. Well, you do because you need what Giovanni drops.
Yes, you do, but we don't actually know he has it, does he? I don't think.
Yeah, we don't.
Mentions it.
Or the boss has the Sif
Self scope.
Self scope. Thank you.
Identify ghosts. Yeah.
But yeah, why is it up to us as a 10-year-old child to level up our Pokemon to fight the ultimate bad guy, quote unquote, in this game?
I think we're the only one willing to open these doors, right? I think the Rocket Game Corner has like sucked in a lot of people. Like the guy who is normally at the gym, like, hey, chap in the making, here's what this gym's type is. He's in the game corner gambling away at these slot machines all day, so he's not in the gym. I feel like we're the only ones that are like not necessarily smart enough, but maybe pure of heart enough to like question what's going on in this operation, peel behind the curtain and say shenanigans are afoot. And my personal reason is that I lost too much money in the slot machines, and so I seek revenge on Team Rocket for that. Otherwise, I have no beef with them. But I wanted to accrue back some of my losses. I got some TMs. How much
did you lose?
I didn't lose. I don't think I put in as many hours as you did, but I did spend a lot of money.
We have the Sylph Scope, sorry.
Uh-huh.
What did you do? Did you go take on?
What did I do? Oh, so like I was gonna go back I was on my way back to the Pokémon Tower, and I went back out to Route 8, I think, yes. And I went, there's like two ways you can go. You can go up the way and go down the way. I think I went up the way when I was coming to Celadon City. Coming back, I went down, and I found a gambler trainer that I hadn't fought before on the way there. So I fought them, and they had some, they had 2 Poliwhirls and a Poliwrath. And I was like, I was looking at my lineup, and I was like, who can I level up here? This guy's a joke. Who can I level up? And I was like, I haven't used Indy in a long time. I'm going to throw them in and get them some HP. Or some XP. And I started, I put poison on them. I started using Wrap. I was like, okay, they're caught in my vice. Blah, 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 blah. And I had the Poliwrath down to 10 HP. I was like, all right, I'm going to finish this off with a bite. And the Poliwrath was faster. The Poliwrath crit. And Indy's gone. I didn't know how to tell you. Indy's dead, bro. The Ekans that you traded me in episode 2 is no more. I felt so bad.
I'm so glad you lost one of my Pokemon before I lost one of yours. I've been so terrified. I've been so terrified to be like, get on an episode with you, start talking, and we're like, dude, I lost Cash.
John, I felt so bad.
I've been protecting the shit out of Cash and Nunu because I was like, I need Finn to lose one of mine first, so I feel okay.
John, earlier in this podcast, I think before we went into the Team Rocket Lair, you were asking if anyone else died. And before that point, I wasn't going to tell you that Indy died. I was just going to let that one fly under a table. But then you asked me, and I broke, and I was like, I have to tell him. I have to tell him what happened.
Okay, so no. Was that why you were also... Because I saw you had the reaction of when I was talking about, am I a good enough trainer?
Yeah.
And then you had that, oh, shit. Yeah, I have to tell John I lost Indy.
Yeah, I was like, I've going into this podcast, before we hit record today, I was like, I'm not going to tell him about Indy. He doesn't need to know. He wasn't going to be part of my party anyway. He could just live forever thinking that he was in the box, but no. And if he ever asks, I'll just make up an excuse.
I didn't have a connection to Indy, so it's okay.
Yeah. I'd never had an Arbok before, and so I was excited to get an Arbok, and I think he was a level... he was 2 days from retirement. He was 1 level away from becoming an Arbok. And I was like, this Poliwrath is how they do it. But I think, you know what? If Indy couldn't handle the Poliwrath, then maybe they deserve to die a little bit. I don't like to...
How hard we have changed!
I don't want to carry these Pokemon through with, no trials or tribulations. That was a test, and they failed, and they paid the ultimate price. So, yeah.
You know what? I can't be mad. I kind of understand. If you can't step up to the plate and actually do your damn job...
Yeah.
Then you don't deserve to be on the team.
John,
we'll test out some things.
That's how I think about evolution a lot in this game. It's it's not tied to... It's not like a Pokemon aging, right? A Pokemon just doesn't grow up and eventually they evolve, right? To me, it's they have to overcome some sort of trial to prove themselves worthy of entering this next stage of being. And if you can't do that, then it's just not going to work out. Indy may have survived that hit from the Poliwrath, but somewhere down the line, were they going to cost... were they going to fall short because they couldn't handle something else and then cost the lives of other team members? Maybe we got to rethink the way we're dealing with these Pokemon. Maybe it's a trial by fire, and we just have to embrace that a little bit.
Oh, well, you know what? I forgive you. Don't worry about it. It happens. But this is Pokemon.
Moral of the story is, once I lost Indy, I then went back to Celadon and was like, not yet. So then I was like, all right, let's get Liesel trained out a bit more. Let's do this gym. It's time for the gym. I cut short my journey back to Lavender Town and did the gym.
Okay. I went back to the Pokemon Tower, and I went through the whole Pokemon Tower after I got the scope.
Let's start there then. Let's start Pokemon Tower. I'll talk about my time there, and then we'll end with the batch.
I got a Pokemon. I love the Ghastly. I think Gengar is a very cool design. And of course, the Pokemon gods gave me Cubone.
No way.
Yeah, I got a Cubone.
Joel, we need to talk.
Oh, come on again.
Well, the thing was, I was... This is the only place you can get either a Ghastly or a Cubone. The Pokemon Tower is the only place you can get those Pokemon. I love Cubone. I love that Pokemon so much. The lore of it, wearing the skull of its dead mother, and because it's slightly hollow, you can hear the sounds of it crying, and it echoes out. How do you not want to care for and love that creature? It's so good.
That is actually 100% what I put in my journal because I caught the Cubone. And we'll come back to what we're going to say. I'm going to assume you got Ghastly.
I did get a Ghastly, yeah.
What's your Ghastly's name?
My Ghastly's name is Grift.
Grift?
Because I was still salty about the game corner and how the slot machines are rigged. And so I was trying to think of a different word for scam. And so you have a grifter. They grift on you. So it's Grift, the Ghastly.
Maxilla.
Oh, okay.
Is my Cubone's name. And Maxilla is the jawbone.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was looking up, being a little more on the nose on that one. I was like, what's a good bone name? And Maxilla was the first one that kind of showed up that was more of a name than just fibia and tibia and crap like that.
Sure.
Plus, I liked the idea of naming it because it's got the skull on it, but it's still underneath it. If it talked or said its name, you could probably still see the jaw line and everything like that. So I was like, okay, that's kind of cool with how it's laid out when it comes to, unless I'm thinking of it completely wrong, but I just like the idea of the jaw with calling it Maxi or something like that, or Max with Maxilla.
John, there is a Japanese trading card. Cubone's crying so hard that the skull comes off partly, and you can see part of its face that's hidden under.
Fantastic.
But it's a very, very cool piece of art, and that gives you a little bit of an idea of... I'll throw it up on screen for the people at home. I was so scared of this Nuzlocke. I was like, there's only a 9% chance of landing a Cubone in here.
Really?
Yeah, it's really, really rare.
I didn't know that.
It's 90% Ghastly, 9% Cubone, and 1% Haunter. And that's
I saw all of them.
Yeah, well, I saw all of them too, but I saw a Cubone later.
But
I've never had a Cubone on my part, and I've wanted one, and I was so disappointed when I got a Ghastly this time, so we're going to have to talk about that.
We're going to have to talk. Okay. What got me was when we get to the very top, we get blocked by the Cubone's mother that we heard was murdered by Team Rocket. Mm-hmm. This is where that connection came in of me building out my own personal lore in my head with this journal, this diary that I'm creating is, I just beat this Cubone's mom, and I caught this Cubone, and there's this weird, beautiful, I'm going to take care of it now. I hope the Cubone's mom, I hope this Marowak is going to be okay with me doing that, because I want to care for it, and I want to protect it. It's cruel that Team Rocket did this, and they should have never done that, and I will not be a substitute for the Cubone's mom or Maxilla's mom, but I'm going to do my best to train it and protect it and not have it happen with Freelon or anything, not let it die. And so I'm really in putting myself into this of how I would treat a person or a pet or something like that.
That's beautiful, John. So you calmed this mother's spirit by showing your strength as a trainer, beating it in the battle, and it knew you're strong enough to take care of my child. Yeah. I love that. That's great.
Yeah, it was just, please tell me you took care of the Marowak pretty easily.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to hear anything else from someone dying today.
Yeah, no, really easily took care of the Marowak. I can't remember who I took it out with. Do you know who it probably was? It was probably Anne. Anne's really...
yes.
Anne is the core of this team now, for sure. Anne, and especially, I gave her cut, and that was a moment of,
nice.
You're going to be in this team right till the end.
All the way through.
Yeah.
Makes sense. All right, the 7th floor. We're there. We walk through up to the 7th floor of the Pokémon Tower, and there's Team Rocket again. Dog, what are they? I know what they're doing. They're trying to get these Pokemon for money, because every time you beat a Team Rocket person, they're like, oh, you don't understand. It's all about the money. The money is what we're after. And you're thinking that you're actually trying to save a person, because in Lavender Town, we talked to Mr. Fuji's people, and he's like, oh, he should have been here by now. I wonder if he's gone up to help with the soul or the tortured spirit. You get through all these rockets. It's pretty easy. A little pushback. I'll be honest. I got a little bit of pushback on mine. I don't know if I just didn't have the right team. Everyone came out okay. And then you talk to Mr. Fuji, and he's like, oh, you did it. You saved them. You helped with the spirit. Thank you so much. Follow me to my house, little child. This is where Mr. Fuji gives us the Pokeflute.
Yeah.
One of to me, at least as we finish up this episode, the MVP of my run.
Oh, so I'm led to. So the purpose of the Pokeflute is to use its song to awaken sleeping Pokemon. And
Yes.
so the obvious use of that is that we're going to be able to wake up that Snorlax that's blocking our way in Route 12. But it can also wake up sleeping Pokemon in battle. So I'm going to assume the way
Yes.
you're talking is that you were using that a lot.
I was using that a lot in my battle with Erika, which we can go do right now. I will say I went down Route 12, and Moss is now in my party with that is Snorlax.
Oh, you got the Snorlax, huh?
I got the Snorlax, yeah.
Oh, okay. I haven't done that yet. I ended on the gym. I never went down and did the Snorlax part yet.
Him, then
Why
I
Moss?
went back to the slowness of it. I didn't want to be like munchy, but there's this idea like Snorlax eats, but I went with Moss because there's the idea of like Moss is consistent. It's slow but consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And it just takes time to get it going, and it can be everywhere. And I liked that idea of having this Snorlax it can be anything it needs to be, and it's just a freaking tank. Finn,
Yeah.
are you ready? Are you ready to talk to me about Erika?
Yeah,
and
last thing I want to mention, because we're gonna be talking about parties. Again, on the way back to Celadon, I did some more grinding because I was scared of because Indy had died and I was scared, and so I grinded a little bit more with 15s, and I was at the point where I was like, "You're ready to move up to the next stage." So I used another one of my Moonstones, and now the Jigglypuff has turned into a Wigglytuff.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
I also taught it Body Slam, which is probably the primary move it's going to use for the rest of its career. Just a really strong normal type move.
Interesting.
And I love the idea because Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff, they're called like, their category in this game is balloon Pokemon because they can like suck up a bunch of air and like expand. Like that's its final smash. Jigglypuff in the game is like expanding. I love the idea of just like my Wigglytuff 15s sucking in this bunch of air and then just becoming huge and then just jumping on like Bellsprouts. Slamming down
that's
on
terrifying.
it. Yeah, really, really fun. Just like, and then jumping. Really love that idea. But yeah, 15's is part of the squad. Liesel's going to burn a bunch of those bugs. Anne is part of the squad. Carbola I took out, I think, because it's grass type. I was scared of them being a part of it. So I think I brought Beakwith back in. Pretty low level, but at least I had the type advantage. I think we missed one encounter that we both had. You go around the back entrance of the Pokemon Mansion where Game Freak is, and there's a guy, and he tells you some stuff. He's not really that interesting. I don't really talk to him. But there's a Pokeball lying there, and you get that Pokeball, and you get an Eevee.
Eevee.
Yeah. What a cuddly little creature.
Very sweet. Very cute looking creature. I love Eevee. Did you evolve it?
I did evolve it immediately, because in the Celadon department store, you can get the stones that evolve it. And so I evolved it into a Jolteon.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And its name is Gigazorp. Just wanted an electric sounding name, and that's what I landed on Zorp, and I was like, it's not electric enough. Gigazorp. There we go.
Gigazorp.
Yeah.
I don't, that's kind of why I have Wazapski. I wanted just an electric style name. I got the Eevee. Didn't evolve it yet. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to evolve it to. And I have it down to 2. I'll be honest with you. It's either going to be Vaporeon or it might be a Jolteon.
Yeah.
Because I don't need a fire type because I've got Iggy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those, like, I'm looking at this, like, what is the best course of action for me when it comes to this Pokemon? I can get a water type because I don't have a dedicated water type yet.
Sure.
And then, but I'm also like, well, I kind of want to Raichu. So it's like, what do I do with this one? So I'm just going to have Eevee there hanging out with me. Well, actually, Eevee's in the box right now. So.
Oh, wow, okay. I was actually excited there for a second, John, because all of the Pokedex entries talk about Eevee, and they all talk about like its ability to evolve and its weird DNA and the stones. They seem to like not really appreciate this creature as it is. Like, Eevee's still cool even if it doesn't evolve. I feel like there's not enough love for just plain old Eevee here.
And I did a little research. Eevee can kind of kick a little ass if you just leave Eevee as Eevee for a little bit until you're like, all right, this is what I need in the party. Because Eevee learns Bite, if I remember looking it up correctly. Like Eevee can get some good normal type attacks that would really help round out kind of any party.
Yeah.
This has been Jon's pitch to adopt a Eevee. Yeah. Going into this Erika fight, I thought Iggy was going to just body the shit out of these grass type Pokemon.
It should.
It didn't.
Why not?
I don't know. I thought maybe I'm a little higher up on Iggy than I probably should be. He might be a little underleveled, but I'm still using Ember.
Oh,
and
Ember
I have the
is
type
very
of,
weak. I had that trouble with Liesel. They only had Ember, and you have to sort of like pull it back a little bit. When you get Flamethrower, it's gonna rip shit. But
yeah,
Ember's
pretty. It was Ember though. I was like, all right, here we go. Throw Ember, and I was like, I didn't think I was gonna one shot everyone. I was kind of hoping so I wouldn't have to worry about it. But I was like, wow, you only knocked out 25 to 50% of this, and then that's when sleep happened. And I was so happy I had Poke Flute because I could revive or have Iggy come back to life and Ember again, and then get put back to sleep, Poke Flute, and then I started actually doing the whole switching things out. I take Abra or I take Neo, the Kadabra. I actually grinded to get a Kadabra. Abra, throw him in there, and Confusion, because I had Confusion by that time. That knocked him out too. But then it was always trying to figure out when Erika decided that she didn't want to do sleep. Because I started playing around with, if I throw you in, what are you going to do? If I throw you in, what are you going to do? And for some odd reason, she would really focus on Iggy and sleep. But if I threw Queenie in there, she'd start attacking Queenie. And I was like, okay, Queenie's my tank. And then like 3 attacks in, it was sleep, but Queenie's my tank, so she could take the hits because it was poison on poison. I was never scared, but it was like, okay, now we're really kind of trading blows with each other, trying to find out how I can get through Erika the best way possible.
Yeah. You're so right. This is the first gym where they start like pulling trickery. There's a lot of status effects that can pull on you. And now that I think about it, we did have very similar experiences because like Liesel was out there in front using Ember. Did a lot of damage, but not as much as it probably should. So like going up against like the Victory Bell that she has and the Vileplume and like putting in the sleep and poisoning them and different things. One little trick that's pretty nasty, it's bad Pokemon, you shouldn't do it. If the Pokemon has one status effect, it won't like receive another one. So like what I would do is I would make sure that Liesel's paralyzed so they couldn't put it to sleep or poison it.
Yeah, okay.
And that's a better chance than if they put it to sleep because then it's a 75% chance of hitting, which is better than putting it to sleep. So Liesel was paralyzed working through this gym.
That's interesting.
I had some trickery of my own, Erika. You're not the only one with tricks up your sleeve.
Well, you know,
we got 4 badges now, Jon.
We're 4 badges. We've done it. It's insane that we're 4 episodes into this series. This adventure's been great. I've been loving the connection between the Pokemon, loving hanging out with you, talking about them while you kill my Pokemon. But
so sorry about that.
I'm never gonna let you live that down. I want you to know that. Next time,
where are we heading next? Because we can actually go multiple ways. But
we can, can't we? I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I think we should stick to what the Nuzlocke app says. Okay,
sweet. So then, next time we're gonna go to the heart of the Kanto region at Saffron City, which is just a huge metropolis. It has the Silphco building and actually technically 2 gyms. One with the badge, one with I guess at the end of it, you're going to get a Pokemon, which apparently Finn doesn't like either of these Pokemon, but it's fine.
No, I'm looking forward to that gym.
No, looking forward to that one. But honestly, I'm looking forward to that. We'll have a good time. We get to take on Sabrina, which is the psychic type Pokemon trainer over at Saffron City. But until next time, you can find Now to Play and all the other CouchCapades podcasts anywhere you listen to podcasts. You want to see the video version of the podcast? Come over to youtube.com/@CouchCapades. There's that. There is the Let's Plays. There's the live streams, all sorts of fun stuff we do there. And yes, we are on social media, Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, if it's still around. I don't know. just at CouchCapades. So find us there, and please tell us what's going on with your Pokemon Nuzlocke if you're playing along with us. Until next time, that's been Finn. I'm John. Please come back. We love you. Thank you so much. Everyone, enjoy your Pokemon. See you later.
Bye.